It's often said that relationships between soldiers transcend race. Movies, books, and personal testimonies have told us repeatedly that when two people fight for their lives alongside each other, a lasting sense of camaraderie and understanding is forged between them, regardless of background. But many black veterans of the Vietnam War have told a different story. Although many formed enduring interracial friendships with fighting overseas, inequities and blatant racist treatment stained their experiences both during and after the war. In Vietnam, they were disproportionately sent to the front lines, jailed or disciplined at a higher rate, and promoted less often. Upon their return to the United States, they were presented with menial job opportunities, denied support by Veterans Affairs, and received little empathy from their own communities. The Vietnam War was the first American war in which its troops were fully integrated, a development that was supposed to turn the page on the ghastly history of institutional racism in the military. In 2016, a study released by the Equal Justice Initiative found that between 1877 and 1950, no one was more at risk of experiencing violence and targeted racial terror than black veterans. After World War II, the GI Bill was constructed in a way that denied benefits to many black soldiers and only increased the gaps in wealth and education between white and black Americans. As the fighting dragged on, ugly statistics revealed how African Americans were being disproportionately affected by the war. Robert McNamara's Project 100,000, implemented in 1966, pulled hundreds of thousands of poor men into the war, 40% of them being African American. By the following year, black soldiers made up 16.3% of those drafted and 23% of Vietnam combat troops, despite accounting for only roughly 11% of the civilian population. By 1969, 60% of the black soldiers believed that black people should not fight in Vietnam because of the blatant inequality in the U.S. A vast majority of the soldiers felt like, why should they come over to Vietnam and fight when some of the South Vietnamese lived better than black people? They felt like they had enough problems fighting white people back home. After the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., some white troops at Cam Ranh Base wore Ku Klux Klan robes and paraded around the base, continuing their celebration by cross burning. Da Nang Air Base flew the Confederate flag for 3 days in response. In addition to being used in response to King's murder, Confederate flags and icons were commonly painted on jeeps, tanks, and helicopters. Bathroom graffiti proclaimed that African Americans, not the Vietnamese, were the real enemy. Black troops were discouraged from taking pride in black identity, with one troop ordered to remove a "Black is Beautiful" poster from his locker. Black identity publications and speeches were restricted, with some commanders banning recordings of speeches by Malcolm X or the newspaper The Black Panther. Racial tensions created internal divisions, causing black soldiers to sometimes refuse to fight. One such incident near the All Salt Valley caused 15 black soldiers to refuse to report for combat patrol the following day. Almost 200 black troops who were imprisoned at Long Binh Jail staged a work strike for more than a month following a riot. In another incident, a race riot occurred on the USS Kitty Hawk after the ship was forced to cancel its trip home and return to Vietnam. Black and white sailors attacked each other with chains and pipes, resulting in the arrest of 25 black sailors and no white sailors. On the USS Constellation, black sailors organized to investigate the application of non-judicial punishment among white and black sailors. 6 of the organizers were given less than honorable discharges, with rumors that up to 200 black sailors would receive the same punishment. On November 3, 1972, about 100 black sailors and a few white sailors staged a racial sit-in protest on the ship's deck. Many of the descendants were ultimately reassigned from the ship, with a few discharged. Several black troops deserted their post. A few were smuggled through the USSR into Sweden, while up to 100 lived in a region of Saigon known as Seoul Alley. It has been investigated whether or not black troops were less likely to be nominated for a Medal of Honor than white troops. Out of 3,500 recipients, only 92 have been black men. As of 2019, the most recent Black Medal of Honor recipient from the Vietnam War was John L. Canley. In future episodes, we will dive deeper into some of the horrific experiences that black American soldiers in Vietnam encountered. Thank you for all of your support. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And again, thank you for all your support.